This is a fun show. This is supposed to be fun. No
No
fun.
the fun
show's already got that.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of Grandstanders Live.
Sometimes the best trades you make are the ones you do.
Oh, for God's sake!
Right?
Seriously?
Sure.
I use that line.
How about the
bad.
Tyler?
Hello, and welcome to another edition of Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman, and I'm joined by my usual cohorts, Uncle Joe McLaughlin, and he's the barber to the stars, Hollywood Pete McGilvery. Well, the professor's not here tonight, but apparently, now I have not seen this video. Apparently, he came here earlier in the day to load this video that we're supposed to watch. So if Adrian can cue it up, let's check out what the professor has left us. I'm making a prediction, and you can take this to the bank, and I'm putting it on my hat.
25
I didn't put my hat on yet last week. You like it? No, it's good. Okay. All right. Before Memorial Day, the starting third baseman for the Boston Red Sox will be Travis Shaw. The starting first baseman for the Boston Red Sox will be Sam Travis. Take that to the bank.
Sam Travis, who now is out for the year.
It was not my fault. Who? Okay, froze.
Remember, because Hanley.
All right,
He was going to replace Hanley for.
I mean, what is he? He's such a troublemaker. That's not my fault. Sam Travers, if you had not heard, the top first baseman prospect for the Boston Red Sox, just tore his ACL, and obviously will no longer be eligible to play this year.
Next year, though.
You know, I know I predict injuries, and I know I'm good with that. But I just
How was he going to unseat the
well,
great
he
Hanley Ramirez?
He would have. Oh, I had that happening. I know, even the Memorial Day.
But isn't that kind of cool if you put Sam Travis on first base next year?
Yeah.
And you have Swihart in left field. All 8 positions are homegrown from their farm system.
Yeah.
And who do you thank for that?
Yeah.
Ben Sherrington.
No. Brookline's own Theo Epstein is the one who drafted all these guys. I'm probably not Sam Travis.
No, but Ben his big thing was the minor league system.
Right. No, he definitely helped. No, right. He helped. Yeah, he's always a big supporter of Ben. He won't come to our side.
I'm a big supporter of the minor leagues.
Is Benjamin his middle name?
Oh, then good. I'm going to start with trade rumors right away then, because absolutely. Let's just start the show. Obviously,
You're breaking up the team I love already.
No, all right. No, of course we love this team, and it reminds me a little bit for you older folks, the 1975 team. A little bit just young stars, right from Rice, Lynn,
Gold Dust Twins,
Evans. I mean, just everywhere. This team reminds me of that, and that was a fun team. And then we had a lot of fun years after that. All right, so I have a trade rumor that I got this last night. It's a fantasy trade rumor, but I think it's going to happen. So San Diego Padres have always been a big trade partner with us, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Padres are out of it, which is natural. But so I'm thinking Matt Kemp and James Shields for Rusney Castillo and Blake Swihart.
That's
What do you
I
think?
think we get robbed there.
You think we get robbed?
Yeah, robbed.
Why?
Matt Kemp and
Matt Kemp's
and
31 years
James
old.
Matt Kemp's 53.
They're washed up.
I know.
Yeah.
I thought Matt Kemp was saying.
He's got a Dominican passport. I think.
No, but I know Matt Kemp seems to have been here forever, but he's only 31. Has had 13 home runs this season.
Are you going to get James Shield out of the wheelchair?
No,
James Shields not that old, I don't think, but still.
And he's washed up.
He's a 4.
Well, first of all, getting rid of Rusney
If
Castillo
you're
is a nice salary down.
ERA in the National League, God help you in the American League East.
No, but Shields would be a nice third starter, right?
Third?
Don't you think? Why not? He's always pitched well in the American
worse
League
than
East.
any-
You know what he
Anyone we
is?
got.
He's a
He's
gamer
Clay
in the playoffs.
Buchholz.
I'll give him that.
You don't like Matt Kemp in
I
left
like
field?
Matt Kemp,
Matt Kemp in left field? JBJ in
that'd
center?
be good for this
and Mookie
year.
Betts?
Yes,
Doesn't
I
Matt Kemp? Isn't there baggage with him somewhere? I can't remember.
No, he's obviously.
There was
we're in the Dodgers because he wasn't playing.
Well, remember that ball in the World Series? The ball bouncing him in the balls. Yeah.
Oh, did?
Yeah.
Well, we'd like to say testicles here on the show.
We don't like to say anything.
Oh, yeah, right. Well, so has he recovered?
Yeah, it was a very embarrassing play by him.
Yes, it would. Yeah.
They had to give him an error.
Embarrassing.
They had to give him an error on the play.
Joe, it'd be painful more than embarrassing.
This play
He was too embarrassed to be in pain.
Oh my God. Well, do you like that? So you like that trade rumor? So I'd like to see that happen
Well,
because
first of all, San Diego would assume that contract of Rusney Castillo.
yeah, because Shields has a huge contract.
Shields is
Yeah.
He's
so,
he's Porcello-ish.
but Rusney Castillo is useless. I mean, that $72 million is being flushed.
How
down the
old
throat.
is he? Really?
Oh,
Rusney
28?
Castillo?
So 20. So he's 32.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, right.
He's got
Well,
the
I
Cuban
know.
But then,
certificate.
well, look, Hanley. No matter what the professor says, Hanley is already done. He's already done. Look, his power's done. He can't pull the ball anymore. He's given up at
He's still
bats.
hitting 300 though.
Yeah, but it's now
How do you
the
think
time
that
to trade
happens?
him.
What's that? Yeah, absolutely.
Because at the beginning of the season, you couldn't get a thing from him.
No.
Now, you never know. But here's my question to you about that. Isn't he kind of made himself a core guy on the team?
That's a great question. I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
No, I mean, every time you see him, he's loose. He's got his arm around somebody,
Yeah.
and he's really bought into the whole thing.
I like him holding Jim Rice back.
Oh yeah, oh my God, I know. Rice wanted to slug him. Yeah, when in the 1986 ceremony, he kept on tugging on him, uncomfortably. You know, he wouldn't
It was
stop.
very awkward. It went on for a long
Jim's
time.
like, okay, that's it. And him. No, I think it's a bad mix because this is a young team. This is a young, exciting team with Xander, Betts, JBJ.
Well, they
Hanley's not out.
they are the core. Let's face it, they're the core guys now. We can
Travis
say
Shaw,
that, right?
Swihart, Vasquez. These are all young guys.
That's fun stuff.
Right.
But Hanley Ramirez definitely has more value today than he did. You know,
Yeah.
Great.
Immense,
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely.
No question.
Mike, but I think the question is, if you do trade him, do you lose something in that clubhouse?
No.
Oh,
is it a clown?
I think
Do you want
might
to
be
answer
right.
that? No. No. All right.
You do need to have a mix of veteran and young players.
Yeah, but Hanley Ramirez is not that
I
veteran.
think you're on to something there, Pete.
First of all, Big Poppy has taken that role
But
this
he won't
year.
be here next year.
Right, well, we're all worried about
Oh,
this
he
year.
might be here next year.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to be this year. Yeah.
The professor emeritus next year.
This is what's going to happen. John Henry is going to go up to him, and it's going to be, here's a little piece of paper. Poppy, is this okay?
Yeah.
Does this do it?
How does this number work
Yeah,
for you?
right. You're right. You know, and
Does this heal your heels?
Yeah, right. Exactly right.
Because
and
depending on the success, he'd be a very hot commodity to the Red Sox, especially next year.
yeah, and why would he leave? Why would you leave the top of your game and all of a sudden you retire at 40 years old?
He leads the major leagues in about half a
What's
dozen
up
categories.
with that, though?
But you can't recreate your life anymore. I mean, this is the life, and once you leave it, that's it. You're just an ex-ball player. It all changes overnight.
What a way to go out, though, if he continues. I mean,
Yeah.
we're halfway through the season now, right?
Yeah, I know. People say way to go. Go out in your own. Just go have fun. Have as much fun as possible. Do you
Hey,
leave it?
maybe that's why he's doing so well. He's loose as a goose, you know?
I believe that, too.
Do you leave a good party early? Because what? You've already had enough
had
fun.
enough fun.
Right. This is enough for me. I've got to go.
No, we leave parties when it gets sloppy, and he needs to stay until it gets sloppy. He deserves
Yeah.
it. I don't care. Let him have 3 home runs in one season. I just love when Big Poppy's
I can't
out.
believe, what was it, 2009 when he was so terrible? I thought he was washed up back then.
Yeah, see,
That was 7 years ago.
it's fun. I love him.
He brings. There's no question he brings something to the table. But back to the. I know you don't like to do this.
Back to
But back to the Ramirez question.
No.
he keeps
We
talking.
have to get rid of him but because you're
And Dombrowski's the type of guy that would say, "Now's the time. We got what we wanted. We put him at first. He did better than we thought he'd do. Now I'm going to dump him."
Belichick would get rid of him, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he would.
Because now it's still about getting rid of the contract. It's really not what you get back in return.
Yeah. Right.
If you can rid yourself
Right.
as much money as possible from that contract,
Then
that's a
that
good
money
move.
can be used more productively.
right? So yeah, absolutely.
That's the goal. That's the goal. It should be the goal anyway.
Because you can always find first baseman in bad teams.
Well, you have a first baseman.
Right, with Shaw. Right,
Yeah.
or you can find a third baseman. Right.
Or
So-
Travis.
Yeah,
Sam Travis.
yeah, I'm not worried about it. All right, so it's all positive, but we have to talk about one negative. The Cole Clay Buchholz thing has gotten as bad as it's possibly can be after his pathetic performance against the Colorado Rockies. he cannot pitch with runners on base. It's pretty clear.
Yeah, it's a mental thing. It's not anything
Yeah,
else.
he's lost faith in something in his weaponry there.
Pete,
Obviously.
Joe and I were at the game, and he mows down the first 9 batters. Okay, the moment in the top of the 4th he gets the leadoff runner on, his whole body language unravels. Right? He might as well have just ripped his clothes off and started running around with a cleaver. I mean, literally.
But now he's in the bullpen.
Which is worse
Because he'll be putting all these
Well, where
high
are you going to
leverage
put him? Where are you going
situations.
to put him, though?
No, but you don't put him in the bullpen when he's going to come in with runners on base. I mean, that's
No, he'll have to pitch clean.
you know what I mean?
innings. He'll have to come in with the bases clean. There's no other way around
right.
it.
He's a situational guy.
Yeah, well, actually, the perfect
He's
situation
Tony
would be.
Fawcett.
Right.
Or bring him in like a Daniel Bard when the bases are loaded and he's got nothing to do. Just come in and throw hard.
I feel like
It's terrible that now you're looking for something for your number 3 guy to do.
right.
You know?
He was supposed to be your 2 guy going into the season.
Well,
right?
thank God for Stephen Wright. He just came out of nowhere.
Stephen
that was
Wright-
like magic.
Stephen Wright has saved everything this season. First of all, he's pitched 3 complete games, which has
In a
helped
row.
save the bullpen. And that was such a key game Sunday after that
Yeah, it was.
mockery of a game on Saturday. And he comes in, pitches a complete game. When we're talking about playoff rotations, Stephen Wright has to now all of a sudden be in the mix if you make the playoff.
And right when they lost Carson Smith, too.
But do you think that Dombrowski's the guy that's calling the shots with Clay going to the book? Because nobody ever did it before.
Yeah, I
They
don't
stayed with him forever, through injuries, through everything.
I feel like it's a Seinfeld episode. Remember when George Costanza got fired and just kept on going to work and then right? I really,
What are you doing here, George?
Clay's still at the Clay's in the locker room. You didn't clean his locker room out. No, he just keeps on coming, right? Because there's no reason to keep on the team. And they said, hopefully he'll start again.
Well,
They think he's
won't he
got
come
some
up with that-
value.
He'll come up with some kind of an injury now and go on the DL, right?
For what reason?
No, he
Wow.
won't. He says he's in the best health of the last 3 years.
Well, that makes it even
a
worse.
lot of
then.
guys say
Yeah.
that, but then all of a sudden the GM says you're hurt.
Yeah, right. But
It's
what?
mental. It's mental. When no one's on base, he's a fine pitcher. As soon as you put someone on base, it's like if it's crawling down the back of his neck.
He's in the wrong job then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. Look, I don't know why they're keeping him because he's statistically the worst starting pitcher in baseball right now. So,
And it wasn't like he hasn't had his opportunities.
right. Again, this has to do with the minor league system. We talked about Will Middlebrooks and how he changed everything. Because Henry Owens and Brian Johnson have not panned out, we still have to look at Clay Buchholz, right? Because one of those 2 guys,
Well, were they supposed to take his job, though? I don't think that was...
well, they would have pushed him out by now. Look, Erod pushed him out.
yeah, right.
Yeah, they would have pushed Clay out.
With the numbers he has now. I see what you're
Absolutely,
saying.
yeah.
I agree.
So, I like Dave Dombrowski because I like that he's an adult. He's always up at the games. He looks
By himself.
Yeah, he's a very handsome guy.
Yeah.
Right. Very elegant and stuff. But he's not a very good president. He's done a terrible job. Okay, if you think about it.
Oh, just the one real bad trade,
Are
and he did it with good intentions. The Carson Smith for Wade Miley.
He got.
And
I
Wade
didn't love
Miley would
Wade
stink.
Miley. Did you love Wade Miley?
No, but Wade Miley. All right.
Wade Miley stinks.
No, I know
Wait.
what you're going to say. You're going to say he's having a great year now.
He's
No,
having a terrible year.
no. This is all I'm saying is if you're going to trade Wade Miley, then he had some value. Okay, so but to trade him for a guy that this guy was a rookie pitcher, relief pitcher, a star rookie pitcher. Okay, the reason the Mariners got rid of him was it was pretty clear that this guy's windup was a Tommy John surgery.
Have you seen what his ERA is in that huge park in Seattle where you don't give up home runs, which was his biggest problem? He's 5.
No, but Joe.
He's worse than Clay Buchholz.
No, but Joe.
And he's pitching in a park that is cavernous. You could put 3 Fenway Parks in it.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to wax poetic about the Wade Miley era. No,
Yeah.
but you could have got more from him than this guy who's damaged.
Yeah,
goods.
starting pitchers usually get you more.
And also, you didn't acquire relief pitchers thinking you had Carson Smith, right?
Yeah.
That was a bad move. They got fleeced. This guy.
Yeah, he stopped working when he
I don't know.
got
I don't
Smith.
think anybody was really worried when Wade Miley left.
No, but he's in
No,
the
but
year.
he's got a point that everyone stopped, that Dombrowski stopped working on the pen after because figuring,
Oh,
well, I
'cause
got
he thought
Smith,
he had
I'm
to
all
get
set.
Carson Smith.
Well, that's the guy. He went after him. They didn't go after Wade Miley.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Oh, come on.
He eats innings. Look, Wade Miley actually would look good on this team.
He
When you get a
saves-
team that's
if you got
scoring,
a bad bullpen, he saves you.
but when you have a team that scores 6 to 7 runs a game like the Boston Red Sox do, Wade Miley is very effective. I'll take 6 innings, 4 runs from Wade Miley every game, right? You're not going to get that from Clay.
Oh, now that he's pitching well.
Yeah.
No, I don't even know what he's doing.
He's not pitching well. He's pitching terrible.
Look, and the Seattle's doing well. Look, they fleeced him. Okay, so all right. So what else did he do? He signed David Price to a contract. He outbid $60 million to the next suitor. Okay, so that's nothing special, right?
Well, that was the way to get David Price. If he was, look, Dombrowski.
He didn't want to come to Boston.
Dombrowski's job when he came in was to get David Price.
Okay.
That was his job. Go
Right.
get him.
Okay, but
Here's the money. Go get him.
Pete, what's his signature move that he's made right now? That is
David
effect-
Price.
Oh well, I mean that's just money.
Yeah.
That's just money. That's not a move. I'm talking
Well-
about trade, something that he, David Price,
Well,
paying David Price $30 million a year.
Well, he
is
hasn't
not-
had to really make too
Letting,
many moves.
getting rid of Pablo and putting Travis Shaw in.
That was a huge move.
Yeah, but that's a no-brainer. Well,
Now it is.
Now-
First of all, Pablo ended up getting season-ending surgery, so
Now,
that really
let,
was.
me, let me just remind you, both of us, and I believe Pete also gave him A's in his off-season acquisition.
No.
Before the season started.
No. First of all, and then all right, Kimbrel, the jury is still out on fire and
Well,
ice,
I'll say.
right?
Oh yes.
I
yes.
really thought he was a great acquisition.
Kimbrel,
I did, yeah.
Right.
I'll admit it. I know you're not gonna.
but are you happy with him right now?
No.
I mean, that game Saturday was a travesty.
Oh,
boy.
double blow. You know.
We have some I love the Red Sox right now, and I'm not, but we have some really stupid pitchers right now. Guys like Joe Kelly and Kimbrel have no sense of how to be a major league pitcher.
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
they're just
yeah.
trying to blow people away.
Exactly, right? How many times did he have 0-2 in Kimbrel to end that game, and he made the wrong pitch?
He doesn't have too many.
Right, frightening.
Definitely 2 times, anyways, right?
Yeah. All right, so more trade rumors because fans love trade rumors. Don't we love trade rumors?
Absolutely.
Yeah. It really doesn't
What's
matter.
not
And
to
the
like about
flames
him?
of the trade room.
Yeah, right, exactly. So I've got another one, and this just came to me on the way here. You know, when we're stand-up comedian, that's what we always say jokes. On the way here.
Something occurred
yeah,
to me?
something occurred.
Yeah,
something
yeah,
happened.
yeah.
And people come after the show. Did it really happen?
That's
on the
because
way
that's
here?
how hot off the press it is.
Yeah, right. So I was thinking, the guy that we really need to trade, who we don't really need, is Brock Holt, and who might bring.
We don't need him right now, but he would
You
be an
always
effective
need
ship.
a guy like that, though.
I know, but he would bring back
What?
in
But
a
now we got
package.
Rutledge and Hernandez now.
But if we in a package, he might bring something that his value may be the highest right now that he was.
Especially at the trade deadline, a team will be looking for depth if they're
No,
going
no,
to make a run.
I see what you're saying, but here's a guy, but he's valuable to you, too. Hey, this guy was the only all-star they had last year,
Yeah.
and you want to dump him.
Oh, I know, but that
He's
was just-
done nothing.
But
but
that
now
just
we got 3 or 4, so.
but that just shows. So that's
You're
how.
all news.
Yeah, I guess you're right. You know, that's how we are, isn't
Yeah.
it?
But that's how embarrassing that team was last year. That the Brock Star
Uh,
was. You know, I know you like
You have a
Brock.
point. No, I know. You
We
have a
all
point.
like Brock, but it was embarrassing that we only had one guy from the team.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about ceilings right now and what we have to give up to get what we want as
Right.
far as pitching goes. And if we can get rid of a Brock Holt and instead of a minor league prospect, position
We have
wise.
to get a pretty good pitcher.
It's all about pitching, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think Brock Holt may bring you a reliever. I think,
I would want
solid
a
reliever.
real solid reliever.
and that would be good, right?
You think so? You think he'd bring a real solid reliever?
Yes, a lot of the teams are looking for that depth for the stretch run. When you got a lot of older guys, guys that might.
I just like him. I think he's out in left field, and you don't worry about him at all.
Or he's in right field, or he's in center
Yeah.
field, or first, second, third, or
I
short.
know that's why he has great value right now because a guy like Swihart can duplicate what Brock Holt
little
does,
bit, yeah.
and the potential upside for a Swihart is much bigger than Brock Holt. I'm just saying I need to get something here so I can go out
Yeah,
instead
but,
of
you
Dave
know,
Dombrowski and I can make those deals.
I haven't seen a ton out of Swihart either. Have you?
Look, there's
Are you
potential
gonna
there.
want? Are you gonna want?
No,
Now,
no,
Stephen
I
Wright's
haven't.
been
You're
a
right.
great story, but are you gonna want a knuckleballer in the cold weather in October?
Yeah. Well,
In
we
a
all
playoff
know
game.
that.
No.
We all know that can't last.
Remember, they used to leave Wakefield off the roster for the
No,
playoffs.
no,
every
you're
year.
right. No, you're right.
That was
And
Because
go
it
around
doesn't
boom.
work in the cold
Yeah, right.
weather.
But that just shows you what a good soldier Wakefield was.
Yeah, he
I mean,
really
he
was.
pitched the whole
He
season.
let Timlin take his place and everything.
Yeah, and then they let him go, and he would.
Yeah.
That guy was a good citizen.
That's
Yeah,
why he's got a job on this.
he should have and he's terrible. Just,
I don't think he's
oh,
bad.
just
He'll
terrible.
have his
Just
number
keep him for
retired
after the
too.
game, though.
Yeah, right.
His
Just
number will be up in right field.
well, if Wade Boggs was put up,
Oh,
I wasn't even going to mention this. That
Travesty.
we were there.
Will
that was
34 be up there?
oh, absolutely. Oh, of course.
I mean, for Don Zimmer?
Yeah, right.
You should have seen the ceremony they had for Wade Boggs. It was the
Wade
cheapest- Wade Bags. The cheapest, crappiest ceremony you ever saw. They had a half dozen folding chairs. It'll be like a cardboard rostrum up there, and they said, Wade, here's your number. See you later. Let's go.
It was like a
Play ball.
it was like a cheap wedding where they go through the thing real quick.
Was it really?
You're gonna do the dance with your father and cut the cake at the same time. And then Wade Boggs has a hair thing going on.
Oh, I'll
Sideways. It was
He
sideways.
goes to Pete Rose's guy.
Yeah, right. Donald Trump has better hair. No, but it was pathetic. And they paraded out former Red Sox. Yeah, sat him in bad chairs, but did never
You
introduce
couldn't
any of them.
recognize a single one of them.
Yeah, showed up for it. He doesn't show up for anything.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
He was the only one they introduced, really.
Yeah, and he got the biggest applause and bigger
Well,
than Wade Boggs.
He demanded it, though. He went out spinning around.
Well, you know what? We're making jokes, but Wade Boggs was a heck of a hitter.
He was a great player, but
He also was a Yankee,
and he won a World Series with the Yankees.
and he wore his World Series ring
And
to
he
the
got-
'86 ceremonies.
and he ended his career. And did I mention the hair?
Now all of a sudden, it's
And his wife didn't even clap or get up.
His
for
wife
him.
didn't even
did they
get up.
think that this was going to sell tickets? They didn't need to sell tickets.
And you're right. They thought it was going to sell tickets. It didn't sell one ticket.
No.
The place was
Well, that's
what, a
because-
third empty?
That's because they're good, though.
No, but the place was a third empty during the ceremony. Nobody rushed to their seats
to
to
get
see
to
Wade.
that ceremony. Like, we went to the Pedro Martinez ceremony the year before, and that place was jammed.
Yeah, but he's beloved.
waiting
though.
on it.
Yeah.
He's beloved.
I mean, everyone got there hours ahead just to be sure they saw the ceremony. That one, the game the other night, they handed out free pictures of Wade Boggs. It was like they'd papered the floor of Fenway Park with them.
It was very embarrassing, and he cried. It was a terrible, terrible night. All right, let's go to the Celtics. This breaking news from the Grandstanders live desk: Brad Stevens and Danny Ainge have signed extensions, so Wick has finally taken the wallet out, and it's time to spend.
Well, you knew he was gonna.
But that's a great move. I'm glad.
He's been dying to spend some money.
Well, you
Yeah.
can't really. You're not going to bring anybody in here unless you got those guys locked up,
right, right. Because that was a worry about Brad Stevens, right?
Yeah.
Because
He's the attraction for
Yeah.
for big stars.
Everyone's worried about Brad Stevens leaving, and he seems to be the least worried about it. He's the one who seems to want to stay the most.
Yeah.
well,
you're right,
he's
Joe.
validated that, right? With the, we didn't think Danny Ainge was going anywhere.
Well, we don't know what the number was, but that could make anyone stay.
Yeah, right. I assume that it's between $7 and $10 million a year extra.
That's what Bill Belichick gets.
Yeah, right. So,
You think he's getting that much?
yeah, I think so. That's
I
what they
don't
pay
think-
these guys.
really?
Yeah, that's. Look, he's as like you said, he's as
Oh,
valuable.
yeah, they'd have to set the bar with him now, wouldn't they?
Because he wasn't getting elite money, Billy Donovan money.
Well, he didn't deserve elite money.
No, no,
because
yeah,
he was unproven out of college. Yeah.
Right. But if we're going to pay Evan Turner like $8 million a year, who's more valuable to the Boston Celtics? Evan Turner
That's a
or
great-
Brad Stevens?
That's a great point.
Wait, so,
Well, Evan Turner's gone now, isn't he?
well,
He will be, probably.
I know. I think they're going to re-sign him. I think the whole thought
He
is
was
that
a good role player, I thought.
yeah, Evan Turner's worth more to the Celtics than he is any other team.
Anyone else.
Yeah. All right, so we have to talk a little bit about the NBA Finals. First of all, the playoffs, the OKC Warriors. That was a very exciting series.
It was
That
truly
fun.
right and just, though. That scumbag bunch of OKC people leaving Seattle like they did. I just never wanted to see them win.
Joe's not over that. Jesus, well,
No,
yeah,
it really was as sleazy a move as I ever saw in all of sports.
Well, I mean, the Baltimore Colts.
That was
They left
sleazy because
overnight.
remember he promised that he would never leave Seattle. And the whole time he was negotiating for the stadium and everything in OKC.
They
while he
all
was
do
saying
that, though.
But it is remarkable that the NBA does not have a team in Seattle and they have one in Oklahoma City, and Sacramento. of all. And I just want to mention the whole Billy Donovan OKC. He's such a little swarmy little college coach. Does he bother you at all? My skin crawls when every time he's.
No, he doesn't bother me at all. He's done I gotta hand it to him. He's done a good job with that team.
He did.
Well, he's got the guys. He's got some good guys there, though.
But now we're happy.
He's got talent there, yeah.
But Celtics fans, because it's always about us, right?
Yeah.
And so we were.
That's the funniest thing. Durant's last week going, there's no way he's going to come. And now this week it's like, well, maybe he might.
Right, yeah, right. Well, now he's a free agent, unrestricted.
And they're saying that in a dozen cities around the NBA right now.
Yeah, it's time to court. So I have a theory. Well, of course, we know that Brookline's own Tom Brady will have ownership of the Patriots. Bank on that. I'm thinking at least 5% ownership because Tom Brady is not being one of the lowest paid quarterbacks of all time.
Tom Brady's not dumb when it comes to a business deal either.
Exactly.
Giselle.
So we know that.
Exactly. Her people are saying, you know what, Tom, you could probably own half this team.
Right.
Every game he's suspended, he gets another 10% of the Patriots.
Yeah, right, exactly. So we know that fixes in with that. And so now if you're Wick, would you offer Kevin,
Whoa, wow. This is
3 to 5% of the team? Obviously that has to be, behind the curtain deal. Because, go ahead.
Nobody does that.
Well, they did that with,
Michael Jordan,
Magic Johnson.
Yeah, but
Elway, they
not
offered him like
front.
20% of the team, didn't they?
Look at Mario Lemieux ends up getting the whole team, right?
Yeah, right.
They couldn't afford to pay Mario Lemieux, the Penguins, so they handed him the team. Now, think about the value of the Celtics if you get a Kevin Durant. The value of the team.
For how long?
It goes at least up to 20 to 30% value, right?
The Clippers were sold for $2 billion.
$2 billion.
And the Celtics have better a much
Thank
better.
you, because I didn't hear him there.
A much better situation.
$2 billion. Mucho.
Okay.
Better TV, better radio, better everything.
Clippers were the worst team in the last 30 years in the history of
that's
sports.
Pretty staggering, actually.
$2.2 billion. Okay, so what does that put the Boston Celtics with Kevin Durant, right? And look, we can do
That's worth more than the Patriots, for God's sake.
right. And then probably, I bet the Celtics will only.
That's nuts.
But Pete, I bet you the Celtics will probably purchase for like $400 million. So I mean, can you imagine? So what is he giving? If he gives them 3 to 5%, and this is not crazy, kids.
Yeah.
And why wouldn't you do that? Because you will gain it back.
Right, in spades, yeah.
Moment he signs Kevin Durant, the Celtics value goes
up 10%, and you gave him 3.
Right, that's not hard math to do, right?
It's very interesting, yeah.
Because that's what you're going to have to bring to the table, okay? Because like you said, there's a lot of suitors. There's 10, 12 teams. He's not going to be able to go to all these cities. But then he's going to be like, well, the Celtics just offered you ownership.
And there's not too many Durants either, really.
Right.
And the trouble is, he's probably they're all signing these like 2 years contracts because they know that the salary cap's going to go way, way up, and they'll be doubling their money, so they're not going to sign anything longer than a year or two.
What does Bobby Orr talk about how he got screwed by Allen Eagleson? Yeah. And what does he always talk about? Was he didn't realize that the Bruins had offered Eagleson part ownership for Bobby Orr of the team. Right? And he talks about that to this day.
Oh, I would too.
Right. You know what I mean? So you when you start talking, you're talking serious stuff. So that's
that's the way to get Kevin Durant.
That's the way to get Kevin Durant. Right. It's not going to be the chowder. Trust me. All right. So I have to, because Pete's here and he's the Bruin expert. And so, Pete, tell me why the Bruins signed Kevin Miller to a 4-year extension when arguably he's the worst player in the NHL.
Okay. Well, if you look at his stats, they're not that bad. Honestly, they're not that bad. The other thing is, defensemen are hard to get now. They're really hard to get. They really had to look at that thing long and hard. That's what you got to pay to get these guys.
So you have no problem with that deal?
And right-handed
shots. I don't know where you're going to get him. Where you're going to get another guy? You might get another guy, but he's going to be 8 years older than Kevin Miller.
But the eye test doesn't tell you that he's not an NHL player.
No, I like him.
You do like him?
I like him.
Yeah, he's a legitimate NHL player.
Wow. Okay.
This town seems to kill. They latch onto a certain Bruin and kill him, until they drive him out of town. Look at Joe Thornton. Look at Phil Kessel.
All right, let's not compare.
We drove them out of town. The management listened to the fans, and that's why they're stupid. But
No,
Causeway
the
Street.
fans is not an outrage to keep Kevin Miller. Just so you know.
Oh no,
and
but
don't
he's the one that everyone's beating on now.
But Joe Thornton and Phil Kessel.
Well, look,
come on.
the thing is, they're not getting any production from their young guys.
Right.
Those Trotman guys, those guys, they didn't pan out like they thought they would. So now, we better sign this guy. We're in a little trouble.
Yeah, the guys down in Pawtucket might not be as ready as you'd like them to be.
I don't know. 4 years is a long time to sit there with Kevin Miller.
Well, you can trade him 2 years from now. Or you
I
can cut
don't,
him 2 years.
I don't know. The Bruins seem to be making all the wrong moves right now, and they're shooting down to number 4 in this town pretty damn quickly. And well, you know, they at one point had a 3,000 season ticket fan base. They may be going back down there, but we'll wait and see. But that's our show for you tonight.
Oh,
of course, yeah, I know that quick, huh? I want to thank the boys, of course. I want to thank everyone behind the scenes, of course, the lovely and talented Adrian. Please check us out on our website at grandstanders.com and tune in again next Wednesday night at 6:30 where we're going to have a special guest, former WBZ TV reporter Alice Cook is back on the show. This is her 3rd time, so we're looking forward to it. So make sure to tune in. I'm your host, Scott Kerman. Have a great night.
Good job. You held your own
Yeah,
on
he
the
was
basketball tonight.
You were great.
Talk about basketball?
Yeah, he more than held his own.
Oh my God, yeah. But you like Kevin Miller?
Yeah, he's not bad.
Hello,
He's
and
a
welcome
game.
to another edition of the
I
Grandstanders
think
Live.
he-
Sometimes the best
Absolutely.
trades you make are the ones you don't
Oh,
make.
for God's sake!
Right?
Seriously?
Sure.
I use that line.
How
when
about
I'm
the
there.
Tyler?